Hey, I'm Danny Surname, and this video is going to be really different from what I normally do because I want to talk about a photography series that I did. And I don't talk about photography on this channel or with my friends a lot, and I'd like to a little bit more. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what this is going to be about so you can decide whether you want to stick around or not. Basically, I released a photography series last night on my Flickr and on my photography Tumblr that had a huge amount of emotional significance for me. So I wanted to talk about it. Originally I was going to write a Tumblr post, but I decided to do a video because I'm better at these. So if you're not invested in me and my well-being, or you're not invested in photography, then you're free to go. So that's what I'm here to chat about. And I haven't planned this to a huge extent. I just kind of wanted to turn on the camera. I wrote down some questions that I wanted to answer, and I'm just going to talk. So this isn't going to be an incredibly eloquent video. I just want to do this as kind of a processing thing. So the series that I released last night to my Flickr and to my photography Tumblr, both of which I'll put around on the screen right now, was called Jeepa. And it was a series that I did on a Boots disposable camera of things that remind me of my grandpa, because he passed away in February. I shot the photos in February and I had them developed at Boots in March. And I finally was ready to bring them home and to scan them in and to share them. Because my relationship with photography works in the way that I do share my work, and I feel very proud to do that. When I originally did the series, I didn't know if I was going to share it. I didn't do it for that reason. I did it because I thought it would be a nice way of processing what I was feeling. And also it'd be really nice to hold on to those things. I don't have a lot of materialistic attachments to things. I sometimes have really strong attachments, but I usually don't. And I don't really have any attachments to the things that he owned, but I have attachments to the memories of the things that he owned. And so that's why I decided to photograph things in his study and things in his workshop that I remembered things about. I've kind of already answered half of my questions, so I'm gonna look at them so that I can actually know what I wanted to talk about. Why did I make the series? I made the series because I wanted to capture those memories. Why did I decide to share it? I decided to share it because it's been really difficult for me. Dealing with death is really hard, and I've only done it 3 times now. This one hit me really hard because my grandpa was a huge part of my life growing up. I owe parts of who I am to parts of who he was, and I didn't deal with it in a very healthy way. I shut myself off. I didn't connect with any of my feelings after initially hearing about it. After about a week of crying, I just shut down completely. And then I stopped being able to connect with any of my feelings. It's now been quite a few months since then, and I'm actually beginning to access all that grief that I pushed away because I thought that was the easier option and because I thought that I needed to help other people. So I'm actively doing things now to process that. And one of the things that I'm doing was to look through this series that I made and to post-process it, to get rid of all the blemishes, and then I decided to share it because I knew that if I shared it, I could talk about it. And because I find it difficult to talk about things that are very close to me. I find it very easy to talk about my past, not so easy to talk about my present. So I haven't talked extensively about how I've been feeling with anybody. So making a video is my way of being able to say, this is how I'm feeling at this present moment. Why did I choose disposable film? So this is obviously a photography question rather than an emotional one. I chose disposable film because I'm really interested in the concept of the impermanence of time and how photography relates to that. I love things like the decisive moments. If you follow my photography Tumblr, then you'll know that it's called Memento Mori. I'm not sure how to say that, but it's called Memento Mori, and it's from an academic quote by Susan Sontag, where she talks about how taking a photograph of something is admitting and participating in the fact that that moment is impermanent. by making it permanent and tangible. And I love that concept. And so I decided to do it on disposable film because it was going to be a series about life and death, but not quite as deep as that. It was going to be a series that dealt with the morality of somebody that I knew. And disposable film is impermanent in a way that digital work isn't. Because you take the photo, you get the print, and that's it. It's tangible in that one unique piece. And yes, I've scanned them in, but those scanned images, the images that you can see on Flickr and Tumblr, are not the ones that I own. And I just liked the idea of being able to mirror what the series was going to be about with the medium that I chose. And when I chose to do it, I didn't plan it to be a series. I was just going to take a bunch of photos of stuff that I wanted to remember. And for me, it was nice to know that those were individual prints. Why GPAR? The series is called GPAR because that's the way that my grandpa used to sign his name on birthday cards or on notes or on texts, because it's short for grandpa. When I bought the disposable camera, I bought two because they were on offer, and I had to have a way of differentiating between the two so that I didn't mix them up. So I wrote GPAR on the bottom of one, because whenever I wrote down his name, that's how I spelt it. It just seemed fitting that I kept that, and that it just became GPAR in the same way that I'd written it on the camera. So that's that. I never called him GPAR out loud. It was only what we wrote Grandpa as. And he used to call me Poppet sometimes, but he also used to call me his little friend. And then when I got a bit older, he used to joke about how I wasn't such his little friend anymore. So that was something that I was thinking about last night when I was writing these questions. How do I feel about the series? I feel really proud of it because I think it came out really well, and I feel really happy that I did it on film. I love the nostalgic quality of how it's come out. I love it. I'm really happy with it. I'm also really sad because of what it means. But I think I'm really lucky that I have something that's tangible that, I don't know, I think I'm just lucky that it worked out this well. I think why it took me so long to scan in the images after having them done was because of how much it meant to me. And the interesting thing about that is when I originally took the photographs, there was no emotional quality to it at all. I took the photos and I decided to photograph things that were important, but I wasn't feeling anything because I'd shut myself off. And I took the photographs because I knew one day these are going to mean something to me. I feel nothing right now, but one day I'm going to look at these and I'll feel something. And when I was scanning them in, I felt something. They stopped being just photographs that I decided to share and became memories that I'm really proud to own and that I'm really proud to have done something skillful with. There aren't a lot of artistic things that I've done that have meant a lot to me. I haven't taken a lot of photographs that I have huge sentimental value for, and these I do. And I'm so happy that I got to combine photography with something that meant a huge amount to me. I feel sad and nostalgic, but really proud that it worked out this well. So that's what I wanted to say about the series. You can go check it out on my Flickr, which is /itstartedwithnadir. You can go follow my Tumblr for photography, which is a minute part of reality. I only started that quite recently. And I'd like to talk about photography a little bit more on my channel. I'd like to talk more about the stuff that I film my life with. I will chat to you more about my skills and whatnot. By the way, I am at home, I am in the north, and I am in my dining room right now, which has been painted since the last time I ever filmed in here. So that's why the background is green and very different. So there you go. Give me an ego boost, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. I'm going to make this really quick because I'm making this end card on my laptop, which the screen has now broke. If you heard, the keyboard broke, I got that replaced, and now the screen is broke. So painful editing experiences are going on right now.